And thanks for your time once again.
Morning to you and listeners.
All right, there's a complaint then coming from the EFF, which of course has sparked the latest Section 7.9, which was issued to the minister to come and answer on the question of whether or not he lied to Parliament on the issues of the rogue unit and of course some IT contracts. According to what we're hearing from OPA is, if there is a complaint, the public protector is obliged to investigate, and that's exactly what she's doing.
Well, we take no issue with that. That's a duty constitutionally. So she must investigate. What we do take issue with is that as she investigates, one would have expected that only the outcome of that investigation would be communicated to the public, not the fact that parties may be implicated, which include Minister Godan. It's quite unusual. We haven't seen a
It's not unlawful. It's unprecedented. It's not unlawful, is it?
Well, it would be unlawful in the following sense, that if a pronunciation is made that you are implicated, it of necessity means that your representations which are due to come may not be entertained in a manner that you would expect as a citizen. You're entitled to a due process before a pronunciation of this nature is made. Because remember, the Section 7.9 is what it is. It says you are implicated.
Yes.
Now, a communication of that fact is surely an infringement of your right to be heard before that communication is made public.
I'm not sure I follow you, Tebogo. For example, you've got folks that are implicated in testimony that is publicly being broadcast at the state capture inquiry, right? And those folks then are noticed that you are implicated. You can come forward. It's already public knowledge.
Well, we're comparing apples with pears.
Okay.
In this instance, this is a constitutional institution which will pronounce ultimately on whether you have been found guilty of maladministration, you haven't exercised your public duties and functions appropriately, and so forth. Now, the people testifying at the Zondo Commission do so for whatever reason, because they've got information, others testify for other reasons. But this process is supposed to be one that an implicated person can have confidence in. Confidence in the sense that I still have an opportunity to make a representation that can change the preliminary view expressed by the public protector.
All right, so
it's unusual,
in simple terms,
it's unusual for that preliminary view to be expressed.
You're speaking legalese now. Are you saying the notices are supposed to be confidential?
Well, let me read out what the Act says. Section 7.2 says, the contents of any information, documentation provided to her office remains confidential until she issues a report. Now, firstly, the YouTube is unusual. It's never been done anywhere in relation to any investigation. And secondly, once publicized, it vilifies, unfortunately, the minister, because all of us look at him and say, oh, well, so you've been implicated in this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
As a matter of preliminary finding. That's unfair.
So is the public protector here opening herself up to be litigated, in a sense?
Well, from a procedural fairness perspective, we will have something to say about this process. And I mean, I was listening to Opa just now. I mean, we are told we can't, and which is rightly so, we can't disclose the contents of the notice that she's issued to the minister. But then he goes ahead on behalf of the public protector and he sets out all sorts of things, manner and things, about what the notice says. That's unfair.
All right. The complaint then, now we know it's out there, is about whether or not the minister met with the Guptas or the associates of the Guptas. And they're saying he needs to then come and answer to that question.
Well, it's asked and answered, by the way.
Right.
Just read the Zondo Commission report. Minister was out there in the public and he said precisely exactly the April 2016 question and answer that he was put to him and he answered in Parliament. That's on record. And secondly, the Zondo Commission has answered that question. And thirdly, and I mean, it's part of the investigation that is underway by the public protector, we have provided her with all of that material. Now, this last step in the investigation is about that we should tell her again, by the way, what we've already told so many people, whether in relation to the Gupta meetings or whether in relation to and they call it rogue, it's not rogue. It's a high-value investigation unit, which is intended to make sure that you and I can get all the revenue we should from those people who are responsible for illicit economic activities. We've given her those explanations. We will do so again now in relation to this notice. Our point is simply, it is unusual. It has never been done that during the course of an investigation, a public protector comes out and says, by the way, so-and-so is implicated. I've asked them to answer.
Tebogo, much appreciated. I get your point. You've made it nice and clear. That's the Minister Godard's lawyer, Tebogo Malatji. It's quite strange. Well, that's the route that the public protector has chosen to take. It's unprecedented. I don't know how you read it, right? I mean, they're not going to litigate. It's something that they will mention as they argue this case. Whether it would have bearing on the outcome or not, I doubt it will. I mean,
by the time we're done with this, there will probably be not much difference in approach between the counsel of Pravin Gordhan and the counsel of former President Jacob Zuma.
Sure.
Technicality, loops, jumps, and then gasp. This is Power 98.7. It's 8 o'clock.
You've been listening to a Power 98.7 podcast. For more podcasts, visit power987.co.za or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.